G'day guys, Googs here for the Drunk Philosopher. Today I'm going to talk about some buzzwords that I've seen going around, and I'm going to do a little bit of debunking of them because, honestly, they're stupid. And they come with the virus, and we hear them all the time from the federal governments and the state governments and the media, and they make no sense. So let's start with the first one, the big one, the curve. What is the curve? Well, apparently the curve means a spike in cases. Now, statistically speaking, a spike in cases usually is not a curve, it's a spike. It's a sudden increase, right, in the virus, and it comes down gradually. We're locked down. It comes down gradually as you get less and less cases because essentially you're starving the virus of victims. There is no curve. Somebody show me a goddamn curve. I'll tell you, you're being served a curve ball. There's no curve, okay? We need to flatten the curve. There is no curve to flatten. Like here in Western Australia, Mark McGowan's gone, well, we're flattening the curve. We've had 0 cases in this state of Western Australia now for 4 to 5 days, which is great. Congratulations to everybody, I guess. Not that we've had a fucking choice, but congratulations. We've flattened the curve. We haven't flattened the curve. There are no cases. On the X and Y axes, everything is 0. There is no curve. And there can't be a curve. You know, it's coming in a curve. It's not a curve. I've never heard anyone, if you look at the ASX 500 or even the ASX 200, on the stock exchange, they don't talk about curves. They talk about spikes, inflations, deflations, but not about curves. There's a reason for that. There isn't a curve. Stupid. So if you hear them say, we're flattening the curve, they're talking out of their assholes. But it's a cute little buzzword, isn't it? Flattening the curve. Another one that I see at the moment, other than flattening the curve, is this: we will reconsider at this point in time. We'll reconsider at that point in time. They're not reconsidering in 4 weeks' time. They're reconsidering tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. They're backflipping left and right. The reason they're saying reconsider is they're trying to give you some sense of stability here. We're the government, we're in control, we're going to listen to the people, we're going to listen to the experts, we're going to make a decision, a good, timely decision. Everybody, don't go to school. And then yesterday, everybody just go back to school now. We're opening schools on the 29th. Now, with anybody with any brains in their heads realises that schools are absolute flu factories because the kids are all sitting next to each other. The teachers are in the room. This is the way flu seasons usually go down. Kid gets the flu from another kid, goes through the whole classroom. All those kids go home to the parents get it, and then it gets spread all through the workplaces. It's usually the way it goes down. So if you're putting kids back into school, everybody else should be going back to work because now it just doesn't fucking matter. Because even self-isolation, if you've got kids, self-isolation or locking down means nothing because the kids are going to bring it home anyway if it gets into the schools. Oh, well, we can shut the schools down again. It's like, oh my God, I heard that today. What? Open them. As much as parents are doing their best, and I know they are, unless they're actually teachers, the chances are they're not going to be very good at educating their children. Not because they don't want to be, because that's not their vocation. And a lot of people work from home, or they have to go to work still, which means it's not helping. But anyway, flattening the curve. And I keep hearing this reset word. We'll reset the economy. You can't reset the economy. Just like time travels forward, so does the economy. Oh, we'll get back, we'll reset. How can you reset something that is in constant motion? And people go, well, reset society. How? What? To what? And the same with the economy. To what? When? When are we resetting it back to? Iron Age, Stone Age, feudalism, slavery, the Industrial Revolution, last Wednesday night 2 years ago, last Wednesday night 2 years ago, whatever. Fuck off. There's no resetting anything. If you hear someone say, oh, we're going to reset, no, they're lying. You can't reset. Because that means you have to go backwards in time. And unless you're Marty McFly, you ain't going backwards. You got to go back, Marty. No. The third one I really want to talk about is the wave. Apparently we've had a first wave of this thing. Wave? Like the ocean. You get one wave and then another comes in and then another and another and another and another. No, that's not the way viruses work. The virus doesn't come in waves, it just comes. It doesn't wave. We're not talking about photons here, right? We're not talking about oceans here. We're not talking about radio frequencies. We're talking about a virus. If we get a so-called second wave, or a second, proper terminology, a second infection, okay, that is purely because of the lockdown. It will be, if you want to call it a second wave, go for it, you're wrong. But if we get a second load of infections, it's because we locked down. We got rid of the first lot of infection, we locked down, we reopen, we get a second lot. And then what, we lock down again, I guess. We reopen, we get a third lot until pretty much everybody who was going to die is dead anyway. And everyone who's going to live, lives. Okay, fine. 30 years' time, we might be back to whatever the new normal is. But it's not coming in waves. This is a manufactured term to explain to people badly the effects of the virus and the lockdown, the artificial stemming of the virus. It will be a second infection. But it won't even be a second infection. It'll just be continued infection. This thing isn't a military expert. This coronavirus is not a military expert. It doesn't come down in waves. It doesn't send a wave after wave after wave of itself at you. It's just there. Or is this like a gamer thing? Oh, yes, it's Space Invaders. You've got your first wave coming in. Oh, beat the coronavirus this time. Round level 2. Yeah, we beat it again. Level 3. Oh, shit, I'm running out of coins. Level 4. Oh, I'm completely out of coins now and I've lost all my lives. Bugger. Game over. Man, game over. No, it's not Space Invaders. It's nothing like that. It is a fucking virus. It's just there. And it will be just there in 20 years' time, 30 years' time. Hell, probably forever. People go, oh, we're getting rid of it. No, we're not. Waves. Watch out, Australia, there's a set coming at you. A wave will crash across onto the land, irrespective of anything else. So we've got ourselves closed off from the world. Well, there's a second wave already hit everyone else and we've just missed out. What? It's not a second wave. Singapore is not being hit by a second wave. They opened up the borders and the infection came in. It's not a second round because there is no rounds. This is a goddamn virus. It's as silly as saying the flu season has bloody waves. Nobody has ever said to me, oh, well, this flu season, we've had 3 waves of flu come in. One in June, one in July, one in August. You fucking kidding me? If it was about any virus, any cold like that, you'd be looking at me sideways if I'd said, oh, we're going to have a few waves of the flu this year. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you prat? And fair enough too. What a stupid idea. And it is. Stupid idea. And just as a final aside, Prince Charles has said the reset idea. We can reset society. I know what the little bastard's playing at. Well, let's face it, you've got to reset it to a certain point in time. I'm just wondering if he's waiting for Mumsy to kick the bucket, hopefully during the coronavirus, and then he can reset it back to feudal England. So England, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada all have to bow fealty to his big ears. I betcha. It sounds like a conspiracy, but man, I wouldn't put past a guy who talks to broccoli. You can't trust a man who thinks that cauliflower is intelligent, or a man who defends fucking ISIS. I'm Googs, the drunk philosopher, and I'll catch you good people later on. Be well. Don't be evil. Be good. And hooroo.